Hello, this is Bacon Brisby, and this is another Minecraft video. This is gonna be my last one for a while, unless I change some things. If you notice, this is my apartment that I made in my world. I chose this one just because there's plenty of secret places, don't get me wrong. I always put secrets in these big worlds I make, and one of them is quite large. And one of them's the Nether, if you see my last video. And it's quite a big secret. I mean, if you miss out on it, it kind of sucks. But this is my little park area. I'm very proud of the way this looks. Like, this was made on super flat with no structures. So all that nature, it was all made by me. Like, none of that was there. This is my biodome. It's got a little tree house in it. And those I wanted the way to light it up kind of at nighttime, make it look a little more futuristic. I mean, it kind of looks like something out of a cartoon, but you know, those little glow things, I wanted to make them sticking out of the ground, kind of look kind of natural but futuristic at the same time. I thought it was kind of cool. And this tree house I'm not too proud of, but it's all right. It's got a little bed. See, like that's too dangerous. You're gonna fall off of that. I don't like that. There were animals in here, but I just recently figured out that if you give an animal a name tag, it doesn't despawn. So I'm thinking of doing that as opposed to just not, because they despawn in there. So it's not big. It's too big. And if you're wondering, I am playing this on a difficulty because when I go in the Nether, there's a spot where you need it to be on the difficulty. And this is the office building. If you're wondering, that's the building we were just in. That's probably my best building out of all the ones in here. It's just the most work put into it. This one, I have to say I'm not too proud of this building either. I like the entrance. I like the fountain. But once you get up here, it's kind of like, eh. And it's a little too dangerous again, because if you fall off, you die. I mean, the cubicles are kind of cool. Kind of a cool idea. There's one for every apartment. Like one person in the apartment per apartment works in the office. But, you know, that doesn't really make sense, because where the other people work. But, I didn't put too much thought into it. I got my little path. I don't like the way the fence connects to the bushes. I can fix that though. I mean, I can't fix it, so there's nothing I can do about it. And this right here is the court. So I wanted to have a little system. You go in the court and then you have a little Supreme Court, and I can be the judge. And then when you go to court, hopefully this doesn't happen, but you end up in jail, which is over here. And there are people in jail. You got visiting hours, which is funny because the jail wasn't really that thought of either, because I wanted to have like a thing. I guess I just imagined these things are keycard machines, but they're not. They're buttons. But you gotta have a little imagination. Now this part was well designed, the little jail cell rooms. And if you actually go in the jail cell, you actually get trapped. So I don't recommend it. The jail guy. And the jail section has the visitor side for the jail people too. As you can see, they can go in here and talk to people. And I can't go into detail like put phones or anything. That'd be cool if I could put the little phone thing, but you can't. It's all about, you have to, with Minecraft, you have to use your imagination a little bit. It's sad, but it's true. And if you notice, there's all this nature behind this section over here. And it's like, okay, it's a waterfall. That's kind of interesting. And if you notice, it's kind of dark in the center of the waterfall. So if you go in here, it's like, oh, a hole. It's very flooded, but there's stuff in here. And it's like, okay. You got a chest, a little armor, some cool stuff. There's a bed. A lot of times there's monsters in here, so you gotta be careful. It says there's 2 other secrets, both are near the waterfall. Okay. And if you explore enough, you can find both of them. If you look in here, If you climb the waterfall, it's harder to do on survival, but you can do it. There's a secret in here. And it's like a whole nother world. It's kind of cool. So, there's that. And then there's another portal, which is the other secret. And it's quite a big secret. Because it's a whole story point. It says, don't be nervous. Modern advancements has made it safe. And then again, it's not really that safe. So I don't know what they're talking about. I tried to make it safe, but it didn't work. It says, welcome to a civilized... I thought of everything in this. So like it says, welcome to a semi-colonized section of the Nether realm. And, you know, anybody knows you can't live in the Nether, so that's why it's semi-colonized. Modern technology has made this possible. To learn more, visit the observatory tower. I remember the first time I tried to make a house in the Nether, and I tried to go to bed, and I blew up. Don't ever try to sleep in the Nether. It's not a good idea. And this is a little information center. What, did I read all this? It says, to learn more, visit the observatory tower. Yeah, I think I read that. This is an information center in which we showcase the creatures and plants in the Nether. And this is not the observatory tower. See, there's gas, zombie pigmen, nether wart, magma cube, blaze. I'm sure there are more. I don't care. It's my own story. I'll make it up as I go. And there's the observatory this way, and it's up that way. And here's the villager. And this is another thing. In the Nether, water dissolves upon contact. This is why it's only possible to semi-colonize the Nether. So obviously, it didn't say anything about beds, but you know, in real life, you can't have water, you can't have life. And this part, people have complained about, but I really put some thought into it, because if you read them all, the signs, before you judge, you figure out that I thought of everything. Because it says, without water, it's not possible to grow plants. These plants were brought in from outside the Nether, which you're probably thinking, well, how do you water the plants? Well, it explains that. Due to the lack of water, plants will wither, which is why the plants are replaced often. See, I thought of everything. I had a friend who was like, he was yelling at me. He was like, you can't water the plants. And I was like, well, I thought of that. And here's the observatory tower. It says, watch your step. It's kind of just friendly messages in a scary place. And it says, as you gaze upon another, you will notice that much of it is untouched. Due to its harsh environment and many casualties of workers, production was cut short. However, the project may be completed in the distant future. Until then, we only dream. It's just a little story thing. And I hate those guys, but I'm not gonna smack them, because they're not doing any damage. And if you notice, like, this was made on super flat. So all that stuff you see out there wasn't there. And if you notice, the Nether doesn't normally have lava in it. I made all that myself. I could probably... I don't have my... I can't. There we go. I don't have my bar up there, so you can't see. See, I built all this. So the lava part took the longest, but that's about all that took that long. I took a lot of thought into where I put the design. So the zombie pigmen invaded, which isn't good. But I found that if you kill all the monsters that spawned in here originally and then you save, they go away for good. So because they're spawning when you're entering the Nether. So and here's my little wildlife exhibit. See, got a zombie pigman. If you're wondering why they're not despawning, it's because I gave them names, but for some reason you can't see the name, and I'm confused. Why? Oh, I know why. It's because I did a setting to where you can't see the name. So that's why. So these guys actually have name tags on them. You just can't see it. So they don't despawn. Like the blaze usually despawns, and so does the zombie pigmen, and eventually the gas does. And I have another world where I fix this, but those guys usually get out. I don't know how they get out, but they do. And that's this right here. That's a little funny message when you're leaving, but that's about it. That's the whole world I have. And this was kind of, you know, pain to make, because I had to design everything. But it says, oh, leaving already. And then you leave and it's like, yep, I'm leaving. So it explains everything in that. It's kind of cool. And this world is not as good as my Utopia world. I built it before it. But see all that water and everything? I built all of that. Given I was just throwing bone meal on the ground and putting trees otherwise. But I mean, it's kind of cool. Oh, wait. There's one more thing. I totally forgot about it. It's behind this rock. See, given that it's the future, there's an end portal. But you don't fight the end dragon because it's the future. So he was already defeated. So then you go in here. And there's a walkway. So it's like, oh, somebody's been here already. But it obviously it was a long time ago, because if you look, the whole thing's decaying. Like it's falling apart. So it's obviously a long time ago. And there's Endermen, but they're wearing business suits, so they're not as intimidating. So it's a little creepy. I couldn't really think of a story point for this, so I just put a sign that said the end is nigh. Like that Watchmen thing. Want to see the Enderman with a business suit? See, he's got a business suit. He looks like Slender Man. But then again, the creepers have suits too, so. See, if you look, I actually put thought into what fell over. Like, see how that fell over, and the pickaxe is in the right position to where it actually would make sense. And like this, it's actually a pillar falling over. It's kind of cool. And I made a lot of decay. I thought that was kind of cool. I have one other world that I spent a lot of time on, but it's my first world, so it kind of sucks. But there are some points that are cool. And this little temple, see? Since the end is near. And that's the little stupid end thing that I don't understand. And this is where I spawned, because that's where I slept last. And that's the end. Hope it was alright with you. Have a nice day.